Liverpool versus everybody. How's everybody doing? It's been a while, I know. But as I've said before, the inconvenience that YouTube has put on us for this channel is ridiculous. And so it's been hard to have the time. I can't really do things on the fly like I used to. But I'm here. I'm back. Haven't forgot about you guys. Whether you've forgotten about me or not, we are here. And a lot to talk about, but I got to start with Huddersfield. And I have to start with Naby Keita. I mean, he's got it. He's got it. I think a lot of us were worried, and that to me was probably his best performance that I've seen. You can give me the flip, turn, curve, turn, spin, whatever it was at Palace. First game of the season, West Ham. He's had some moments. Bournemouth was a good game. The other games that he had goals in, this is the game. And not even take the goal away. Take the goal away. But let's bring the goal back because he made that goal. 14, 15 seconds in, pressing the ball, and that was a long distance to run. Go watch the game back, pressing the ball. He wasn't doing a lot of that in the first, month or so that we saw him playing, or just in the games before this game. He really wasn't. And let's put it all in perspective. We know Huddersfield is a garbage team. They might go down as one of the worst Premier League teams. People were saying Fulham. Huddersfield takes that title from me. They're an atrocious team, and that's what it is. So to hit them early like that, you knew this game could become 5-6-7-0, and it probably should have with all the chances we had in the first half. But back to Naby Keita, the work he did off the ball, the work he did to fight to steal. And again, I think we were blessed once again. I don't know who the ref was. I can't remember. It might have been Kevin Friend, whoever it was. They were a true friend indeed, whether it was Kevin Friend or somebody else. But it's the second game in the Premier League that I noticed that teams have allowed us to express ourselves. And what I mean by that is being physical, whether it be Fabinho, in this case it was Naby. Naby was snapping and biting at ankles all game long. It was just a beautiful thing to see. So that's, again, man, it makes me that much more excited about seeing him in his second season because he's coming on very, very strong now. And he's a part of everything. Nice passes, and like I said, defending and the work rate he's putting in. I think Klopp made it clear to him, like, look, we got you for a reason. We know you can play. Forget what the noise of, unfortunately, Liverpool fans, but other rival fans questioning them, laughing at them, doing memes and all that. That's cool. We know what you can have. But we need you to take it up a notch with effort, fighting hard. Everybody's got to play defense in that team. Everyone knows that. You even see Salah doing that much better now. Much more now, I should say. Mane's always did it. Firmino, of course, who missed the game, obviously. And Sturridge was in, but you don't really expect that much from Sturridge. But he's got it. He's got it, man. And that's a wicked case for Liverpool. I'm telling you. Good to see Ox back, and you got to believe that he'll find a way back into that team next season. But then again, I just don't know because I'd be I won't say shocked. I'd be surprised if we didn't get at least one other midfield player. Not to say that we even need it, but just to strengthen the squad. We don't know what's going to happen with Milner in the offseason. We don't know what's going to happen with Lallana. I got to believe at least one of them, if not both, won't be at Liverpool. So they're going to be at least one more midfielder or two. And so and I'm not a fan that thinks, well, why are we doing that? There won't be space. There's always space. Look, you think City thought that when they got those players? No. You have guys who are as good or perhaps even better in the case with that team. There are people who might say Sane is better than Raheem Sterling. Sterling's been starting more of the games. So it's not about not having space. And that's an idea that I think for Liverpool fans, we need to just leave that alone. Because maybe in the years past you thought that because you just didn't think we were going to be this good. A team this good, you only should be trying to get better. That means adding more quality players, So, but Naby, I can't say enough about. I can make this whole video about Naby because he was just that immense, that amazing, that great, that beautiful. When he plays that midfield like that, it brings me so much joy. So, it is unfortunate that there's some stuff about Fabinho maybe not being 100% fit. Last I checked, Firmino same. I think they'll both play in the Champions League game. Or at least both be fit and available for selection, if not from the start, then the bench. But yeah, the Huddersfield game was just great, man. Again, we had a lot of chances in the first half, but I think Liverpool get into this place where they kind of just coast, especially against a team like that who aren't going to really give you much threat. Although they had a bit, but at the end of the day, it's Huddersfield, and you can kind of take your time. And we did that to a bit, and we got the 3 goals in the first half, finished them off in the second with 2 goals. So, again, to get the 3 Africans scoring in the game. I think that's some kind of record. Mane, on 20. Of course, Salah is still up top. And, let me just be clear. It was never that I don't think I was ever hating on Salah or he was playing pretty bad in a certain period of time, and we got to talk about that. And that's just for that period of time. But what he's done at Liverpool, I think it's like 100 games, and he's involved in I think 98 goals, whether he's scoring or assisting. I mean, it's just ridiculous the amount of goals that he scored at Liverpool and assist as well. Um, just doing big things. And right now, to get him to be scoring these goals like right now and being effective and just playing better, is it can't be a bad thing for Liverpool. Mane has been doing well. To get Salah involved now, not hiding, and taking the Egyptian queen away from his name and bringing it back to Egyptian king. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and we're just clicking right now. So, we were saying how it was so great to have everybody back. Gomez, Ox, to get the knock on Firmino and Fabinho, although I think they'll be fine, is a bit worrying. But again, I mean, everybody is really, really sinking right now. We got clicking right now. We got Henderson doing his thing at the 8 or that 10 or whatever you want to call it, doing really, really good. So it'll be a headache for the Barcelona. What he's going to choose with that. I'm going to go with my starting 11 and definitely put yours in the comments. But yeah, just a great performance at against Huddersfield. I mean, I just can't. Every time City keep doing something, whether they're doing it by hook or by crook or grinding the game out, which you got to do. You can't knock them for that. Liverpool just keeps showing that we're not going anywhere. And listen, I think those 3 games were games that people were thinking, or at least hoping that they do us a favor. The Tottenham game, the United game, and then the Burnley game. That didn't happen, so we just got to keep fighting. We got to focus on what we have to do, and we only control what we can do. We have nothing to, at this point. We had moments in the season where we could have controlled it, but we didn't, and that is what it is. But I've said it before, I'll say it again. This team has nothing to hold their head about, no matter what happens, and that's just the truth. I mean, this has been an incredible season, the best season that I've seen as a Liverpool fan, and that's by far. I mean, there has not been a team like this. We gotta remember, we conceded 20 goals and lost 1 game in the Premier League. Yeah, we drew quite a bit, and that's probably what hurt us. But we've lost 1 game. You know what I mean? And so doing our thing in the Champions League, and so we got to just keep that in perspective. Remember that these guys have nothing to hold their head about or hang their head about. And like Klopp said, this is the beginning. This is just the beginning. So whatever happens, win, lose, whatever, there's more to come from Liverpool. So yeah, great game against Huddersfield. Really, really good. Really proud of everybody on that field, man. I mean, and again, I can't say enough about Naby. What he's doing right now, how he's come into. It looks like he's really, really got the swing of what Klopp wants from him. I mean, it's going to be incredible to see him just flourish and grow even more with this team. But moving to Barcelona, listen, first game's at Camp Nou. We know that it's so-called a fortress. Look, I don't watch a lot of La Liga. That's the truth. I've not watched a lot of Barcelona, if at all, any, besides maybe a half here, a few minutes here. Don't know much about their coach. But obviously they're doing big things, and this is what, their main man, Messi, said he wanted to get, Champions League. So, going to Spain, it's surprising to me people talking a lot about Coutinho, but no one's really mentioning Dembele. I think Dembele starts in the first game. I think for me that'd probably be their best bet. And I think if they really want to maximize what Messi can do, I think it's best to have him as a free role. There's all this build-up about Van Dijk versus Messi. It won't be a one-on-one situation. It's never going to be that with Liverpool. In fact, if there was such a thing, it'd probably be Suarez, because he's more centrally against Matip and Van Dijk. So at the end of the day, Van Dijk can't think about that, and I'm sure he's not. I don't think Messi's thinking about that. I think at the end of the day, every manager in the world who's faced them, every team in the world, all the players in the world who's faced Messi, they've all thought about stopping Messi. But that's never been the key. It's about limiting the passage to him. It's about limiting the tunnel, the ways of the ball can get to him. Because if you can do that and force someone else to be their main player, then that's how you essentially stop Messi. But again, it's Messi. We've done a great job stopping Hazard, stopping the Polish nuke, who for some reason I remember that name, but I can't remember his actual name. The guy for Bayern Munich. One of you guys will let me know I can't really be bothered to remember his name, because to me he's a bit overrated at this point in his career. But we've done well to do good against the top players for these teams. We have. But even in those games, Hazard, even in that game, he had chances. He didn't make any, but he had the chances. So if he's doing that, then Messi's going to have his fair share of chances. We have to do our best to limit those, to make those really, really hard for him. And again, keep the ball from even getting to him. If we can do that, I think we'll be fine. My lineup is obviously Becker in goal. I mean, he's been incredible for us. And To me, he's definitely needs to be in the conversation of one of the best keepers, if not the best keeper in the world right now. Right now, Ter Stegen, they got a good one on their side too for Barcelona. But for me, don't give me De Gea. Don't give me that guy that plays for Bayern Munich, who again I can't remember his name, but can't be worried about it. Um, Ramses Becker has been incredible, phenomenal, better than I thought he would be. I knew we were getting a good keeper. The price tag, you never knew he's young. He had that one season really at Roma. You could never be sure of what you're going to get. But my goodness, man, this guy has just same with Van Dijk. We knew he was going to be good and all this, but both those players have just gone exceeded my expectations. We know what Ramses has in his locker that might not be the best things, trying to do too much, holding the ball too long over the past couple weeks, past couple games. The communication with him and Van Dijk has been off, but other than that, it almost seems like nitpicking. This guy has been incredible this season, and so happy we have him. Yeah, him in goal. Um, Trent, I keep turning on the right. I really wish Gomez had been fit a bit more and longer because I do think Trent at some point needed. Right now, you got to just go through the season now. It's only a few games left, but I think we could have used some rest for him. But I do think he keeps his place. Matip comes back in for me. That's just a no-brainer. Obviously Van Dijk and then Robertson in the back. The midfield is where it gets tricky, right? I think Genie went out early in the Huddersfield game, so I'm thinking that means he starts. Although with Klopp, you never know. He could go with the Brexit +1. He can go with Milner, Henderson, and Genie. I'd hate to see it, but I wouldn't be surprised to see it. But I think it'll be Genie. I think Naby keeps his place, and I think Fabinho, which I think is harsh on Henderson. I really do, but I just think Naby has been incredible. Again, I'd almost be happy with almost any midfield because all the guys have been playing so well right now, particularly Henderson, Naby, and Fabinho. But I have to see Fabinho on that team. And I want to see Naby keep playing. I think Genie will start as well. But if it's Naby, Fab, and Hendo, be happy with that as well. And I think deserving for all people who started. Of course, up front, I'm hoping Firmino is fit. Obviously, then he goes up in the center, and then we got Mane and Salah on the right. Although I do feel like Klopp might throw a wrinkle in this. I don't know what that wrinkle may be, what that surprise may be, but semifinal, I think you got to really go for it at the Camp Nou. It's a wide, huge pitch, and I think we're the best team in Europe right now. I'm just gonna say that, and that's not with rose-tinted glass. I just look at the other teams, look at their results, look at what they're doing in their league, and I just think we're the best team in Europe right now. That's just my opinion, and you know how Klopp is really, really good with two-legged affairs in the Champions League. Since he's been here, he's taken us to 3 semifinals in 2 different competitions. Of course, we don't have anything to show for it, but the fact that he continues to do that and knows how to get his team through competitions like this is just amazing for me. So I'm looking forward to it. I think again is if we can keep if we can make Messi as uncomfortable as possible, I think that's going to bode well for us. We can't forget the other players they have. Of course, Dembele, Coutinho can do a few things for them. Suarez, Vidal in the midfield if he plays, Busquets, Piqué. We know the guy on the fullback, so we know what they have. Alba. So we know what they got, but they need to know what we have. And I don't fear any team in this competition. I don't fear any team in Europe. I just think Liverpool at a level now where if you didn't respect us now, you're going to be forced to. And I think in that game, the Camp Nou, we're really going to surprise some guys. If we can, I don't know how much Barcelona deal with teams that press like we do in the La Liga. Again, I don't watch it. Maybe some of you can tell me, but I doubt they deal with that regularly. So I just hope we go there not trying to be safe, not trying to steal something. Just go there and play our football, enjoy our football, get away goals, make it hard for them to come back to Anfield. That's the best way to go. Go play your football. Don't be scared. Don't feel like you're inferior because of the name Barcelona. They have world-class players, but damn it, so do we as well. And, it's going to be a great tie. It's going to be a great tie. So I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for whoever's continuing to support the channel. Let's see what happens Wednesday. Much love.